Morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing great. It's been uh, it's been a very interesting week, I think, for everyone. So this is, I think, a perfect opportunity. Jenny and I were talking a little bit about what I'm going to talk about today, right before everybody hopped on. It's the difference between control and no control, and we go in and out of this, all the time. Do you feel like you're in control, or do you feel like you're out of control? And there are things in our lives, especially in the last week, is a good example. We react and we get emotional about things that are out of our control. We have no control over certain things. We have no control over the weather. We have no control over whether we're going to get sick. We have no control over certain things, but it's how we react and what we do in those moments. When we focus on what we can control versus what we can't control, that's where our power is. Give you a good example. Last week, I just got back from an operation, training operation down in Fort Benning. And one of the days we were out in the field, we were convoyed in. We were supposed to do, so just to give you a background of what I do in the military, I'm in a unit called OP4, which is called opposing force. So what we do is we learn enemy tactics and then deploy those against the National Guard for real world training scenarios. And we try to destroy them as much as possible so that when they actually get into combat, they're ready to fight. So, for a long time, we were learning ISIS and Al Qaeda tactics. We're still learning some of those, but now we're learning more conventional warfare tactics. So, one of the days we're in the field, we're ambushing these soldiers, these small units that are coming in. We're ambushing these guys, and they're coming in. We have no idea exactly where they're coming in because they're supposed to take this objective. And at the end of it was about 6 hours of running and gunning all day long. And we didn't have any food. We had breakfast, which was very little when you're in the field. We had water, but we didn't have anything else. And our ride left us. So in this moment right now, so you imagine you have soldiers, and it was the who got left was me and two of my guys. So in this moment, you have soldiers. I talk a lot differently in the field than when I'm in front of the camera most of the time. Um, we started to go off because you're left. You can't get them on the comms. We even had cell phones. You couldn't get them on the rate on the cell phones. We had our cell phone service was sketchy, but whatever. We couldn't get them on the radio. And I was like, guys, we have two options. I told you this could happen, and this is going to happen. It happened. So we can either sit here and hope that they come back for us, or we can just take off walking. And we decided to take off and walk. What was in our control at that moment? Because one of my guys started getting mad, and he was like, they left us on purpose, whatever happened. I was like, dude, we can't control that. What we can control is the fact that we are physically fit to make this march out of here and get back to the talk and then figure out what happened. Maybe they got detained by range control for having a 50 cal mounted to the back of a personally owned vehicle, a POV. Maybe range control didn't like the 50 cal sitting on the back of a regular truck. Maybe it looked a little too haji for them. So there was all these things that can go on in your mind, right? But you have control of how you perceive the situation. You could get mad and think it was about you, and maybe they left you on purpose, or maybe they're playing a joke. I mean, all these things could have went through our mind, but I was like, guys, we got this. We know where we're going. We can make it back. It's just more training for us. This is what we train for. So that's, and I'm not always, super positive. Sometimes I take it personal and I get mad. But what we can do as leaders is we have to stop and we have to decide, is it in our control? What can we control in this moment versus what we can't control in this moment? Steph and I are doing these challenges. We're trying to do these fitness challenges because we don't have, there's no races or anything to do. And I have to stay physically fit for all the missions and stuff that are coming up. It's raining today. We're trying to do a minimum of 10,000 steps a day. It is really hard to walk around your house for 10,000 steps. So in my mind right now, I look at it and I'm raining. I'm like, it's not supposed to rain till 2 p.m. We're supposed to be able to go out. So what's in your control? I can control, buddy, if you want to go get your 10,000 steps, then go walk in the rain. You have to stop and think about what's in your control and what's not in your control. So I started, we talked about this before, but Audible, if you have an Audible subscription, they have this really cool thing now where they have a lot of books for free. Most of the time you get a credit or you get 2 credits based on what your membership level is. I get 1 credit a month. So I think I'm paying $14.95 a month or something like that. But they also now have all of these free books that you can get as long as you're paying some kind of subscription price in Audible. So I've been listening to a lot of Napoleon Hill because I feel like he's just resonated with me for the last 20 years. But there's also these books that I saw were popping up on Stoicism and being a Stoic. And one of the things that I'm learning this week is to focus on, take a situation, take a moment in your day, every single day, or take an experience like being left out in the field, and focus on, in those moments, in those interweaving moments of that situation, when you had control versus when you didn't have control, how you acted and how you reacted, and focusing all of your effort on the moments that you can control. And you're going to notice that you're going to have a more positive outcome, because it's either, like Henry Ford says, either you do or you don't. Either way, you're right? Either you think you can or you think you can. Either way, you're right. So it's just about how we perceive and our perception of the outcome that we want. And if we continuously, on a regular basis, focus on what we can control and focus on the positives of what we can control, then we're ultimately going to get to where we want to go when it comes to our lives and living a peak performance life. So this is what my challenge is for me this week. And I'm challenging you guys starting today. I started yesterday, starting today. At the end of the day today, take 5, 10, 15 minutes, get into a journal. I've got mine. Get into a journal and write down a situation where you had control or you lost control of your emotions, of the things that you can control, and start jotting them down. Because I've started noticing, even just by listening to these books, I've started noticing I'm slowing myself down and starting to notice when my emotions are starting to get the best of me. I see something that I don't necessarily agree with on social media, and it starts to fire me up. I can control that. So just remember, once you take control of yourself, if you have complete control of yourself, no one else can control you, and you have all the empowerment that you need to be successful in life. So that's it. If you guys have any comments or questions, we can discuss it. Otherwise, let's get on.
Nathan, this is what I was getting ready to post on Instagram this morning. I mean, it was literally on my phone. It says, whether you think that you can or that you can't, you are usually right. Henry Ford.
Awesome.
So funny. Yeah, I actually found it yesterday because I try to get my stuff ready the day before to post the next day or whatever. So
awesome. See, the universe is working towards us, guys. All we got to do is just grasp it and take it.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys.
You're welcome.
I hope you have a good day. Stay positive out there. Stay positive. Everything's going to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.